This tournament honors the old. Then
You know, I
Guardian need you to be.
I have very mixed
I'm
feelings.
back, by the way.
Oh hey. Okay, so I'm just I was just turning in some tokens there.
Is to stifle
Boo man.
potential. The crucible is
Alright.
embrace the iron.
So I guess my final verdict on the game would probably be similar to what you said. Like, so I really enjoyed the game. I enjoyed the progression. I liked the expanded patrols, and it felt like there was a lot to do in the world. And I liked the PvP. I kind of like that it's smaller, but I do wish that they had the bigger game modes available. Like, I like 4v4, but I'd still like to play 6v6, and I'd still like to play 3v3. I think that it's good that 4v4 is in the game, but I think it's bad that it's the only way to PvP now. I loved the heavy mechanics of the raid. I like that it's mechanic driven rather than power level driven. I didn't particularly like the story of the raid, mostly because I thought the ending was dumb, that it's just a robot that you're fighting, because it takes away all the stakes of the raid. But that's just me. Like, that's just my opinion on that type of storyline. Like, I've talked to people that really enjoyed it and thought it was like fighting robot Jabba the Hutt. But to me, that's a minus rather than a plus. I thought the story of the game was, like, the campaign story was interesting, and it had a good premise. Like, Gaul, I thought, was an interesting villain, but it didn't go deep enough for me. I wanted more lore. I wanted more depth. I wanted more backstory. I didn't like that the stranger wasn't part of the story. I like the subclasses, but I think that this game would have felt much more like a true sequel if there had been a fourth class. They should have added a fourth character, and that was a missed opportunity. I mean, it's a sequel. It's not even an expansion. Like, there are expansions to games that have an added character class. A sequel should be a guarantee that there's a new character class. See, there's so many. I could get into the minutia of the things that I like and dislike about the game. Like there's a little thing that I preferred. I thought that there was much more customization of weapons in the last game, in Destiny 1. I felt like there was more variety of weapons in Destiny 1. I thought the exotics in Destiny 1 were significantly better. And I actually, I thought that they were more challenging to acquire too. This prestige mode exotic shotgun, I guess, that we're getting for the Margrave is
let me add something to that.
Just a length thing, not a difficulty.
I think where they miscalculated is I think they miscalculated time frames. Here's what I mean. I think that they plan a controlled distribution. I'm assuming that when the DLCs drop, there's going to be more exotics, more weapons, and whatnot, and that was their plan for the longevity of this season of Destiny, was to continue to release content. And I think that where they misjudged the timing of distributing content is that we'd already experienced Destiny 1 in its full season, and we had we'd been given a large amount of content and variety. So Destiny 2 basically feels that they retracted and didn't give us a different enough experience so that it's compared too closely to Destiny 1, so that it feels like it's a lot's been taken away from us because it's a reset. You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
that makes a lot of sense.
Because I'm comparing it to my experience in Destiny 1. It's too close. It's almost as if Destiny 2 was what Destiny 1 always should have been. If Destiny 1 would have started out the gate the way Destiny 2 did, it would have been a success, a greater success. And so it's not necessarily like Destiny 2 is not necessarily a sequel, as it seems like a total reset of the game. Like, oh, we screwed up. Here's really what we wanted it to be. And yeah, I mean that's my 2 cents. And they rolled in a lot of the same exotics, you know, so it's like, I don't know.
I mean,
And there's not enough content for mature, heavy consumer players.
yeah. I'm in
Yeah, I'm
that
one of those
category.
too. Like when I play a game, like I play it. I try to get to end game, you know, as soon as possible. There's something out there that's good, you know, I'm going to commit a lot of my time, every moment, you know, to working towards it.
There are so many things. So, like with Destiny 1, one of the best things about Destiny 1 vanilla, like just no expansions, was that it felt like there were a lot of rare guns that were kind of mysterious, like, and maybe mysterious is the incorrect word, but like there were guns that I just never got. They never dropped for me. Like it took me months and months and months to get a universal remote, for example. It took me months and months and months to get the Mida multi-tool. And I had a Gallarhorn the first week. Like, but that hunt for guns, for weapons in Destiny 1 gave it a lot of longevity despite the lack of content. And even though it was a grind, and it was in many ways an unnecessary grind, there were guns in the game that I wanted to have because they were good. And there were a lot of them. I mean, the Mythoclast was one such gun that you were going to keep doing the raid over and over and over again to get because it was the best gun in the game. Yet they were so quick to concede to people that whined because they couldn't beat the raid or they had to cheese it to beat the raid that it broke the balance of PvP or whatever. Like, I get it. You're trying to appeal to as many people as possible, but don't ruin the things in the game that are supposed to be unique and are supposed to be overpowered in some ways. I mean, but I don't know. That's been something I've complained about for a while, and I'll admit that it is just purely a complaint. And I thought that Iron Banner, you know, Iron Banner to me is supposed to be like PvP for PvEers. It's like, alright, you guys have been like gearing for shit forever. Have fun ganking some PvPers, and if the PvPers are really good, maybe they can hold their own against somebody with really high light. You know what I mean? But I don't know. It's just, it's one of those things where it bums me out that Destiny 1
they need to do
had more exotics and more good exotics than Destiny 2 vanilla.
What they need to do is, if they want Crucible to be in the game, and they do, and have it be the arena for the masses, they need to have, in more than just trials, they need to have Like Iron Banner was a great opportunity, like you said, to incorporate light level and be like, all right, here's where your build matters. Here is where your light level matters. Here's where your choice of guns matter. And not everybody's going to be able to succeed in that content. Sorry. You know, this is... we can't be everything for everyone all the time.
I mean,
how else are you going to push your player base to get better unless you offer content that they're aspiring, you know, that they're getting owned at, and say, gosh, you know, I want to be able to compete at that level.
That's what makes it cool, is that it's hard. That's what made the Mythoclast cool, was that you had to have beat Atheon, and for a lot of people it was before they knew about the cheese, on hard mode. And that was a big deal.
Zone A lost. A powerful statement.
I don't know. I rambled a bit, but...
Don't let up.
That's the way it is. That's what it is.
You look pleased.
And dude, these guys are just rolling in squad.
All zones held.
There's only 3 of them.
Minutes remain.
Maybe that's why they're sticking together.
All of you together, like Iron Lords.
No, I only have 1 shot left for my sidearm. That doesn't help me. Where do you find special
Man, dude,
ammo in a crucible?
This dude, with this origin story is just so fast with his aiming, and like his target acquisition is just phenomenal. Like, he can get his gun on me so fast.
Zone C lost.